Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to class today.
Hello, sir.
Hey. All right, so welcome to the inaugural session of DevOps training. All right, so I just show my face being the first time so that you get to meet me and I get to meet you also. All right. All right, guys, my name is Akin Aregbesola. Of course, I'm sure that many of you already know me because most of you registered either through Instagram or you've been my previous my trainee on the previous program. All right, so I'm in charge of the training institute, theITern. All right, so I'll be taking this session to basically introduce you to IT because I know that many of you are completely new to IT. And then beyond this inaugural session, I would also be teaching you Linux systems engineering, otherwise called the administration of servers in cloud. All right, that would form the first course, the foundation on which you will build your IT career, or specifically your DevOps engineering career. All right, today I just want to meet you and have that interaction. You ask your questions, and hopefully we're able to arouse your interest for IT and also at least attempt to build the vocabulary that would be using henceforth to build the foundation that I talked about earlier. All right. So nothing too technical today, just introduction, get used to the terms networking, switching, cableless, wireless, and so on and so forth. Just so that we are all on the same pace in terms of people coming from different backgrounds and trying to understand what these terms mean in IT. All right. So that's about it. If you are willing, you could show your face in video, introduce yourself, because this is about the only opportunity we'll get to do video. Hereafter, it will be serious business, and it will be practical sessions, going to cloud and learning stuff. All right, so if you want, if you're in a position to introduce yourself, let's get to meet you. Your colleagues will also know you, so that in 5 months time, 6 months time, 7 months time, you are sharing your testimony, we'll remember that, okay, at this point you were, at least we'll get to identify, put a face to that name, okay? All right. Afolabi, I see you on video. You want to tell us briefly about you and why you're here?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Afolabi Williams. I'm based in New Jersey. I have a computer science background, and then I'm currently hoping to learn more on DevOps.
All right. Awesome. Computer science background. Are you currently working in IT?
No, but I've been, into several projects around software development and around mobile development.
Wow.
Yeah.
That means you're already into IT. That's awesome. Okay, so that's good. You're me or Derindi. You like introducing yourself and telling us?
Hello, everyone. My name is Yomi. My name is Yomi Oderinde. I'm a program analyst. Then I have done so much in computing And here in the US, I'm trying to get myself across to the system. So I want to explore more and more about things about computers. I just want to know more. So that's where I'm at. But talking about computer, I think I know little. I'm a graduate of computer science, and I've done a little bit of things. I mean, computer things, and I'm still doing. Recently, I work with Jabe Inc. I debug server for living.
Wow.
At least that's what I do now. I use some Linux things to debug server. Most of those servers are AWS server anyway. Amazon gave them that project, and that's what we do. But we have to take the main. Here we are going to be working on server that is somewhere, but we work with those servers before they deploy them to the wherever we want to deploy them to. So, since this is something that I've been doing, let me do it in another way that is it's going to get more money. Okay. I'm here because I want to make more money.
Yeah, everyone is. Awesome. Great to know. Wow. Awesome. So now for the people that are completely new to IT, you know the people to ask questions if I'm not available, because they are bringing in some experience, some IT experience. All right. Thank you. All right. Yeah, May.
Yes, please.
Nduka, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is May Oboma Unduka. I am completely new to IT, so I will need all the help I can get.
Okay.
That's all I can say for now. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Who else is here? Adewale Ayod Oyedele.
Yeah, hello. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My name is Adewale, and I go by Yerobodo on my WhatsApp. I'm based in Texas, and my background is in engineering. Back in Nigeria, I studied electronics engineering, and back then I've had this passion about computer science. I had few friends back then who studied computer science, and I was able to see what they could do with computers and programming and all sorts. So I wanted to, do something in that line too because of the interest. So, and I feel this will afford me the opportunity to at least get closer to computer and learn more. So the reason why I'm here is just a passion, the desire to solve problems with computers. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Adewale. Nice to have you. Okay. So many people here are tech-oriented. Awesome. Bismarck, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Bismarck. I'm from Ghana, but I live in Kansas City, Missouri. My background is in information technology. I work for Sena as implementation analyst, and I currently finish Microsoft SQL. So just a DBA for now. Okay. But I want to learn more. I saw this advertisement and I read about it, and I've seen that it's one of the hot cake applications. So I just want to learn more.
Awesome. Welcome to class. So, yes, Yomi already introduced himself. Who is next? I think I saw somebody. Okay, Bukola, yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bukola. I'm currently a BI developer for the federal government. So I've been working in IT for about 4 years now. So I'm trying to actually deep dive into DevOps and get more inclined with my SQL, because I'm trying to just learn more, and gain more knowledge in the IT field.
Awesome. Great. Were you in the Linux class?
No, actually, I was not.
Okay. What we have a similar name. All right. Awesome. Welcome to class, Bukola. Who else is here to? Who else feels like introducing themselves? Yes. Terila. Yeah, Terila, you were in the Linux class, right?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah. So my name is Terila Pera. I'm not new to IT. I've been doing IT for maybe 2 years now. Currently a DBA with CDC, and I'm coming to take the next step. I've actually done some Azure, but I'm not disciplined enough to learn this by myself. So I prefer to learn.
Yeah. It's always better to have someone teaching you, even for me. Yeah, awesome. So you are here you completed the Linux class, so you are here for AWS? Or?
AWS all the way to DevOps.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I mean, you might find something useful here, but this is basically for people like me.
Okay.
But since you are here already, yeah, why not? And of course, having completed Linux, maybe you want to support, you want to pick some people here as interns so that you can put them through. They have issues with commands. All right. Nice having you, Terina.
Yeah, thank you.
Bukola already spoke. Then Samuel. Ngom. Samuel Afolabi. Sheung. Any of you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Samuel. I go by Sammy. I am currently a desktop support technician. I am looking to improve my skills in the IT field and, of course, make more money.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else? Demi?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Okay.
Yes.
I'm Ayodeji Kayode. I'm completely new to IT because my background is mechanical engineering. So I'm excited for the opportunity. I'm ready for the challenge.
Okay. Mechanical engineering, you are not so far from IT. All right. In any case, that's the second new person. So, all right. Thank you. Nice to have you, Demi. Yes. Let me see if somebody's trying to come in because the trip. Yes, Sheung, please.
Okay, good day, everyone. My name is Oluwaseun Ige. Although I don't have any background in IT, my background is in agricultural engineering, but this appeals to me. Cloud computing is something that appeals to me. So
okay.
I would like to, although I tried taking a course some times ago in software engineering, but I find coding a little bit complex for me. So, and based on the advice I got from other IT gurus, they said, I think DevOps and cloud computing, yeah, it appeals to me more. So that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Thank you, Sheung. All right, so OS, I'm just trying to let people in. That means now 5 persons are with. Just bear with me. Where? Let me see if I can do it from here. In the time being, I can multitask. Let me already introduce. Where's Caller Texas? Have you spoken? Caller Texas.
Okay. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning, house.
All right.
Yeah, please, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
When I was going through the page, I saw different topics on the page. So I want to really know, is is the topic merged together?
That now.
Or you just have to pick one of it?
Yes, I will explain.
Want to know. Oh, okay.
Yes,
so
as part of the inauguration, I will explain.
Okay. My name is Ayodeji Kolaole. Yeah, I'm an enterprise application support for a fintech company.
Wow.
I've been actually I learned it was how do I put it? I was opportune to learn the job on site. So I did a training with Udemy on Linux administration using CentOS. So I did that on my own. So I also learned a little bit about Docker, container orchestration.
Okay.
So So I just want to have a few. Cloud computing will go. So I want to delve into that. And also, I've been listening to people talking. People that doesn't have background in IT whatsoever. One thing I've known about IT is that because I've been able to do a little touch on every side, Java programming, JavaScript. But one thing I wanted to advise us as a professional, one thing I've noticed about IT is that if you are not, even though you learn it, but you are not using it in a production and enterprise environment, you definitely forgot. So I don't know if I'm wrong, but I think I've practiced it. And if you are not using it constantly, like Linux, you have to remember the commands. You have to know what is happening. So if you don't, if you are not really in an enterprise environment or operating a production server, and for like 2-3 months, you just say like what you have learned is going off you. So I want to really, if you can advise us professionally when we finish this course, okay, what you can use to do and to apply. Thank you very much.
Definitely, yeah, sure. All right, thank you. Paula, Texas. All right, is that all? Okay, some people are just joining, we might not be able to take everyone, so we don't spend 1 hour introducing. But if there's just one more person that wants to introduce themselves.
Hello, Mr. Akin. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, Taylor here.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for letting us in and being a part of the class, sir. I really appreciate it.
Welcome. Welcome. All right, guys. So like I said, yes, we'll take all of the questions raised by Paula, Texas, and then of course, give you an overview of IT, and then we'll progress from there to cloud computing and to DevOps specifically. All right, so let's start from the basics. For many of you, these are just things you're already familiar with, but for the 1-2 persons that are completely new to IT, let us start from the very scratch. All right, guys, so I'll be doing some drawings, so I'm going to let the video go for now, so you can focus on my illustrations. All right, so bear with me. Okay. All right, so can you see my screen? Can you see welcome to class, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let us start. And feel free at this time to ask me questions. It's not something serious, so feel free to stop me. It's when we start the technical stuff and everything is flowing, we don't want to break. I may ask you to wait before you ask me. Okay, so introduction to IT. Of course, we know that IT is information technology. So it is the technology that helps us automate things. When you talk about automation, IT comes to mind. All right? Information technology would support any business to help to automate any business. So when we talk about information technology, the way you know it and the way it had been is that you have a computer. You have a computer. A computer could be laptop like I have here, laptop, desktop, any kind of system, even if it's these days, even if it's a mobile phone, it's all counted as, let's call it computer. And usually it's hardware, you see, it's something physical that you can hold, you can touch, all right? So you have your host. Once you can learn to do stuff on this host, maybe you are a programmer and you program on hardware, on physical computers, physical servers in the office, enterprise environment, or called on-prem. You are a database analyst, you are a computer analyst, you are a database administrator, you are networking person, you are a security person, all of the different specializations in IT, you do it at this level of physically going to a server and doing your work on the server. All right, so this is the old school way that is changing very fast. So whether you're a security person, you're a networking person, you are a coding person with Java, you are a web developer, you are, all right? These are different specializations, different areas of IT because IT is very wide. You are front end, you are back end, whatever it is, as long as you do it on physical system, that is one tier. But this is the old tier that the world is moving away from. What we have, what the world, the current stage that we are in now is that it is no longer in vogue to have you go into a physical machine. So there is a layer that has taken over from that physical machine. This layer is generally implemented via a program called hypervisor. So that is the general name for the program. So you put hypervisor on your hardware. This host is your hardware. In other words, it's a physical component. It's a physical device. So what's in vogue now is that they put some kind of software on the hardware. And the result is you cannot create multiple machines. When I say machine, this is a machine. All right, instead of calling them computer, laptop, I just call them machine altogether, machine. All right, so you cannot have many. Just bear with me, you cannot have multiple machines on top of this single machine. This is a single host, single machine, single hardware. But you cannot have multiple machines. But because these machines are not physical like this, we call them virtual machines. So you can have multiple virtual machines on a single host, on a single physical machine. All right? Let me mute everyone. Okay. Now, so you have this virtual machine, and so on and so forth. It is the resulting technology emerging from this virtual machine. That is what makes virtualization, generally, virtualization. Bear with my pen. Generally, but specifically the arm of virtualization called cloud. That is what makes it possible. So in other words, we have migrated from working with physical computers to working with virtual computers, virtual machines. And this is where remote job becomes possible because you no longer need to go physically to these machines to perform your role as a security person or as a database person or as a programmer or as a data analyst and so on and so forth. So the emergence of virtualization, the emergence of cloud, because when we talk about virtualization, cloud is the biggest form of virtualization. Cloud is the manifestation of virtualization. So this is what resulted in the ability to, because these are not physical, to access this from anywhere and be able to do what you used to do here, you are now able to do in cloud. So that is why even as, especially for people like us from old school, as far back as 2017, 15 years ago, we were already doing stuff here. We needed to migrate our skill to cloud so that whatever we're doing in the physical world, we are now also able to do in cloud, because this is where the technology, this is, when people say I'm an IT person, I don't have job, it is because they are still stuck here at the old school level. This is the new world of virtual machines. So you need to be able to use the skill that you learned here. The skill is not useless. It's just that you are now deploying it in a different environment. All right. So we are now working with virtual machines. And at this level, there are many job opportunities. All of the job opportunities I'm sure you've been hearing about, they are available only at this level. Nobody, well, the jobs that are available here are very few. They are not common. It's like somebody is trying to call me. Let me check if anybody is waiting. I don't see anybody waiting. Okay. Okay. Now, this is the level we are taking you to. This is the level. So everything we'll be doing from day one, from the very first course to the last course, we'll be doing around here in cloud. In cloud, not here anymore. All right. But there is still something bigger than just working with virtual machines. If we project one virtual machine from there, for example, let's say we move this virtual machine to a high level. Then you see that at this level, you can work with virtual machine as if you are working with one virtual machine is a full computer. It's not really as if, it's actually a full computer. So this is one full computer with its own memory, its own CPU, its own memory CPU and storage. Although they were drawn from here, but they are unique to this system. And this computer, this machine is unique and different from this machine. They are two independent machines. The fact that they coexist, they are hosted on the same platform, does not mean that they are the same. So this is one system. This is another system. This is another system, and so on and so forth. You can create as many virtual machines as the resources on your host allow, because it's drawing, and when we say resources from host, we actually mean the computer memory, the computer processing unit, and the computer storage. These are the three main resources that control the power, that determine how powerful your computer is. So these virtual machines are actually drawing from these resources. So you can have multiple virtual machines, as many as the resources here would permit you. So there's no limit. It's kind of 2, 3. All right. Now, there is a higher level to working with virtual machines. It is now also possible to, let me turn off my, what's the, give me 1 second, guys. Let me just let your colleague ask. Hello? I'm in class, please. Are you not in class? Yeah, because we are busy in class. Are you sure you are using the right link? Let me send you the right link. Okay, I've checked. There's nobody waiting. Okay, let me see. Okay, 2 people. Okay. What's your name? Let me see if you are here. Toby. Okay, let me check. Give me 1 second. All right, I'll let you in. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So Yeah, you can turn off. Let me go back to class. All right, so man, so many things on the screen at the same time. Okay. I don't see Toby, but I'll allow. I'm sorry, it's just that somebody has paid money for this training and he does not attend the first class. Will not be pleased. So let me just try.
So I'm trying to join from my computer. Can you let me in, please?
Yes, I just allowed 2 people. I don't know if you are one of them.
Bukola. I don't see. I'm still not in.
How come I'm not seeing you guys there? What's going on? Bukola. Let me look for maybe there's something I'm not there. Let me look for where you guys are waiting. So what does it say, Bukola? What does
It just says you are in another class, so just wait for the host to let you in.
Okay, there must be something I'm doing wrong. Please let me look around. Because I don't see.
Hello, Mr. Akin.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just let me in now. I think
just let you.
I think what she needs to do is she needs to log out and log in back. Then she can put her information, her name, and email, and log in back. Then you let her in.
Okay. This is becoming disruptive. All right, so I'm going to turn off my phone. I can't keep keeping this back. All right, so let's manage like this. So the people who are not in class will they will make do with videos. Besides, it's already 6:32. This class was supposed to. Okay, so let's continue. Now, I was saying that above the level of working with virtual machines, there's a higher level, and I was going to explain that. And before I explain that, I needed you to know that this virtual machine is a full computer by itself. All right, that's what I was explaining when I said it takes resources from the host. Now, it is possible to have many computers within a single machine, within a single virtual machine. You can have many computers inside. All right? So it is at this level of being able to deploy applications into as many computers within a single computer. This is the level that you want to get to. And this is the level of 6-figure jobs. At this level, you're probably doing like I don't even know if jobs like this exist. So the higher you are able to go, the better, the more useful you are to, I mean, the kind of job that, I don't remember the name, and the person who works as a contractor to Amazon. At that level, they are expecting you to understand that a virtual machine is much more powerful than just hosting one application like Uber or like what's on any other popular application? Any of the apps that you know, even Facebook, Google, all of them are now available as apps. So you want to be able to use one virtual machine to perform multiple tasks so that one app is running here, another app is running there, another app is running there, another app is running there. So what this guy will buy 700 machines, computers to do, you can do from just one computer, running multiple computers inside one virtual, not even one computer, one virtual machine. And there are many virtual machines inside the host. However, these computers inside here, they are not called computers. I'm just calling them computers so that it makes sense to you. They're actually called containers. Containers. So at the level of being able to create containers, manage containers, put application inside your container, that is when you become a real DevOps engineer. DevOps. DevOps, then we do capital letter O, then small letter, because it's 2 words combined, development and operations. So we deliberately write the O as big letter. All right. So what I'm saying here is that you are going to work with virtual machines in cloud, and then you will know about cloud, about the services in cloud, and so on and so forth. But that is not the end. At this level, if you are going to get job, yeah, you might find job as cloud solutions architect, but the competition is less at the top because it's a pyramid. So many people are here. Virtually everybody knows that. But at this level, not so many people. But if you get to that level, then very few people, and then you are priced highly. All right. So this is the hardware. This is the virtual machine. This is the container. You want to get all the way. But of course, this one, everybody is already doing. This is old school. Nobody bothers about that. So we are going to use your own hardware, your own host to connect to cloud, and then we start to work with cloud. In other words, we start to work with virtual machines, not physical machines. Physical machine, you need to have it and physically go in there. But cloud is virtual machine. All right. So with that background, let us explain what cloud is. Any question at this stage? Maybe it's too early. Let me explain cloud first, and I'll take your question. Okay, so like we already said, like we already explained, the concept of running computers, physical computers in the house where you have to wake up to and go every morning, call it an office, is becoming outdated. However, when they still exist, even though cloud virtual machines is taking over, but virtual machines have not taken over completely. So those environments still exist. So when they exist either as corporate organizations, will be maybe a physical building. You have this computer, that computer, this computer, all right? You have multiple computers. And all of these computers are wired. They are wired and connected together through cables, all right? So generally, this is not part of cloud. I'm just giving you a foundation to understand what's going on. So this computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, they are connected. The device that the cables connect to is generally called a switch. So if you see switch in IT, it is the central device like that have holes. These holes are called ports. All right, they have holes to which you run cable and connect to computer. And then you run cable through this hole, connect to this computer. You run cable through this hole, connect to this computer. So by this connection to this switch, all of these computers are now connected together. Computer 1, computer 2, computer 3 are now connected together. And by that connection, a link, a road, a network is provided so that they can communicate with one another. So when you have this in IT, you call it network, computer network. Now, it doesn't always have to be cable. It could be wireless. In fact, these days it's mostly wireless. So that even though it is not physically connected to a switch, they are still connected wirelessly. All right. In IT, you want to represent a wireless connection. One computer, another computer, another computer. I'm imagining physical computers now. So you draw that sign. It means wireless. That lightning sign. Wireless. Wireless. And this device in the middle that is making the wireless connection possible. Unlike wired network, where it is called switch, in wireless network, where there are no wires, this device is called an access point. And you have one from your Spectrum, from your AT&T, so you have an access point that brings in the internet, and then through that access point communicates wirelessly with all of your mobile phones, your laptop, in your bedroom, your TV, wirelessly releasing that internet. And so it's also a network. This is a network, even though it's a wireless network. So network in IT simply means interconnection of devices so that they can share resources. In this case, the resource they are sharing through this access point is the internet coming from your provider, Spectrum, AT&T, all other providers, all right? So anytime you interconnect systems, whether wirelessly or wired, then you have a network. And this network is the foundation of IT. Without networking, then we cannot share resources. So anytime you talk about information technology, there is always one device and another device communicating. And of course, in IT, there'll be thousands and millions of devices, all of them communicating with one another, servers. We would describe that connection of devices that makes communication possible. We call it network. Now, network could be small networks, small IT networks, we call them corporate networks, or they could be big networks. Big IT networks, we call them enterprise networks. So there are two terms. We have corporate network, and enterprise. Now you already know what networks are. So the idea of corporate network simply means a small, secure network within a building. So if you work in a bank, for example, the network of computers and devices within that bank falls here, corporate network, bank. But if you work for AT&T or like Verizon, like the telecoms companies, where there are, it's not just one building, but maybe several buildings across several states, all connected together. That's a bigger kind of network than you would have in a single building. Then that kind of big network where there are thousands of devices, sometimes even mobile phones, as part of the devices, running to millions. In fact, from thousands to the numbers, I'm just using the numbers to give you an idea of how big enterprise networks can be, but they are not really so. So what kind of network can you think about that is so big? This Zoom that we are using now is such a big network. As we're having this meeting, so many other meetings are going on concurrently on the same network, Zoom network. So that's an example of enterprise network. Big networks are enterprise networks and small networks are corporate networks. So once you have a network of computers or devices, machines, so that they are not just simple connections like you have in your house where there is no security, but this is deliberately secured. All the security features are in place. Then they fall into either corporate network or enterprise network. But if it's your own house where you don't it's a family home, you don't mind who is accessing your resources, then you don't bother about security. In fact, you don't even know how to implement security here. So this kind of non-secure network may not fall in the corporate category. So we just call this small office, home office network. It's not important. But the point I'm making is the network in your home connecting all your mobile phones and all your TVs and everything is not a corporate network. The reason it's not a corporate network is because it's lacking that very important feature that makes a network that security. IT security, not physical security. You know about it later. All right? All right. So, yes, I can take a break now, take your questions to see if you understand what we mean when we say a computer network, a corporate network, an enterprise network, a physical computer, a virtual computer, and so on and so forth. All right, questions? Only on what we have done so far.
Yeah, excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
The corporate network, is it the same as the local area network?
Okay, good question. Sorry, let me explain that. So when we talk about local area network, we are only referring to the geographical span of the network. So if the geographical span of the network is only within a building or within a home, or just a small area, then we'll call that kind of network local area network.
Okay.
And then the network inside, the connection of computers inside is what we now refer to as corporate network. So corporate is about the security of the connection, but local area network is about the cabling.
Like the location, the geographical
The geographical space and the cabling.
Okay.
So you can call this the outside view and this one the inside view.
Okay.
Yes. So in your home now, once you have cables running through, if it wasn't wireless, if it was wired, you have cables running through connecting all of your devices from room to room, to your, and so on and so forth. I'll call that kind of network a local area network.
Okay.
But if I now come into your home and I look at the security of your devices, and I see that your security protocols have not been implemented so that people cannot just log into your devices here, then it does not qualify as a corporate network.
Okay.
Yes. So local area network is just about how big, how small, is it within a building or what? Good question. Yes. So once it gets bigger than local area network, which is you have smaller networks. But as far as IT is concerned, this is the smallest kind of network. You could have smaller kind of networks for other non-IT like infrared and Bluetooth, but and then of course it can get bigger from local area network to metropolitan campus and then wide area network. It's just about how big is the network. All right.
Okay.
Good question. Any other question? These are just old school terms. They are not terms we would deal with when we move to virtual machines or move to cloud. But it's okay to be able to interact with your other team members who are also IT professionals. So when the networking person is talking about LAN, he's talking about the network being enterprise, you should know what he's talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Will it be right? Of course, I know we are not talking about networking, but since you made mention, I mean, the real essence of this section is not about networking, but since you made mention about wired and wireless networking, will it be right to say that nowadays, for wireless networking, the access point you made mention of has been compressed together with other devices and now put into a box, just one box.
That's right.
With the router and other stuff.
That's right. That's
okay.
Correct. Yes.
So these days we don't really see the access point as a standalone device on its own.
They are still available as standalone devices, but the ones that you are used to, the one that you probably have in your home, yes, it's like you explained it. So instead of having one device as access point, another device as router, another device as a wireless router, another device as three of them normally come together. So what they have done is just put all of the devices together into one box, so that you now have one box acting as yes. But it doesn't mean that these do not still exist in the market as single entities. Yeah,
so I think my question just falls to something you mentioned. So what is the hierarchy of like being a cloud engineer? So like there's solutions architect, there's can you just give a
Yes, I'm going to talk about that. I'm just building it from scratch. All right. So now that you know what happens at the bottom, what you want to do now, like we already said, is that instead of dealing with equipment at this level, and then we'll just refer to this, just so that we know the vocabularies and we understand what those terms mean. So what we want to do now is we are saying we want to refer to them at this level. All right, and then we said between these two, there is something called hypervisor. So this is the cloud. So when you get to cloud, what is possible? When you get to cloud, what you have is infrastructure. Infrastructure simply means all of the physical components you should have here as part of your network, your computer, your server, your switch, your cablings, all of these independent and unique devices and equipment that work together to form your network. That is what we call infrastructure, network infrastructure. Network infrastructure. All right, infrastructure. So what happens now in cloud is that these things are no longer physical. They are now virtually represented in cloud. So when you get to cloud, you want to be able to set up this infrastructure and this network in cloud like you did in this is cloud now. I should use a different thing. This is cloud or virtual environment. It's actually virtual, but cloud is just. And then this is physical environment, physical host, physical computer. So everything you had in physical, you should be able to do virtually in cloud. So when you get to cloud, you need to be able to set up your servers. You need to be able to connect your servers to other servers so they can communicate, set up your full network. Now, what is the goal? Why are we going to cloud? Why are we talking about networking, servers, and so on and so forth? What's the real reason you are doing all of this? What's the goal? Just like you are building a house. Why are you building a house and decorating and doing? What's the real thing? The whole idea, the whole goal, the objective of building network, building server is just so that you can put your app in that server and that app will now be available to the whole world. So the reason Amazon will build a server is so that they can build their Amazon website, as you may know, it's more complex than website, on that server. And therefore, all 5 billion customers of Amazon can connect to that server and access those resources and be able to buy from them, whatever it is that the motive is. The reason Uber wants to employ a solutions architect is to build infrastructure in cloud. When you say infrastructure, the first thing that comes to mind is server in cloud, so that they can put their Uber codes, their Uber application, and therefore all their 3 billion customers around the world will be able to access that application and be able to buy from them. So the whole goal of server is just so that we can have it to put our application in there. Now, your question. The people who develop this application to be put in the server, they are called solutions developers. They are called solutions developers. That's the new name for programmers, developers. All right? But they are not the same people who will go to cloud and prepare the server and secure the server and open the appropriate port and remove all of the firewall. I mean, the necessary firewall so that customers are able to access the server. It's a different job role. The people who will prepare the infrastructure, let me use the general word infrastructure because it's actually more than server, but server is just one form of infrastructure. They are called solutions architects, and that is what you are training to become. So you want to be able to go into cloud at this level, set up server, and all of the other services that the server needs to work with in order to make it possible to put an application there, and so that customers, end users can access it. Those people are called solutions architects. And then there are other kinds of people that haven't done your own parts as a solutions architect. These people, and secure your own server, these people are more interested at the enterprise level of things. They want to make sure that only, especially for non-commercial, non-public server, in fact, this server should not be available. Not just the server, the entire network should not be seen by the world. For example, a bank corporate, not just corporate, the enterprise network of a bank, or even of a security place like the White House, for example. You don't even want somebody to be able to come into the network and then is now not able to enter the server. You want to block, put firewall all around here. So there are other people, other with the job role of securing not just the server like you did, but the entire network. These people are called security people. They specialize. These are subject matter experts now. And even within this server, there may be need to set up another server so that both servers can now access a database where you have the list of all citizens of the of US. By no means, nobody should be able to access this database. And how do you even list everybody here in such a way that it can be queried? It's not your work. The people whose job it is to install, maintain, and secure this database, they are called database administrators, and so on and so forth. Different roles within cloud. But your own role is to be able to understand these elements and then go into cloud and set up all of the elements. What's the objective? Like we have said many times, so that it can house the application of your employer and make that application available according to the company policy. You architect, you build, another word for architect is build here, the infrastructure that will house the application. What is application? The codes, the programs that run Uber, the programs that run Facebook, the program, they'll all be compiled into an application and made available. So that when you type, when you download the app, you're able to use it. That is the application. It could be in form of a mobile app, it could be in form of a website, but it's all application. All right, I'll take another break so that I'll take your question. Yes, questions or contributions? Okay. All right, so let's revise what we have done so far, since there are no questions. So you are training here to first of all become, we'll go up to DevOps later, but for solutions architect, who is a solution architect? When you become a solution architect, what basically are you expected to be able to do fundamentally, even though you are not? Are you still here?
Which is, sir?
Yes, please, let me see. Show me that you'll be listening and that you are copying. So as a solutions architect, what's your primary job role? Do you have anything to do with the cloud as a solutions architect? As a solutions architect, are you working with physical machine or you are working with virtual machines?
Virtual machines.
All right. What do you do with virtual machines? Solution.
You build.
You work with virtual machines. So the different components that you use to build a network, what are they called? To build a network, you need your server, infrastructure, network infrastructure. Okay. All right. So as solutions architect, you are expected to build not just virtual machines, you are expected to be able to build infrastructure in cloud, infrastructure. Bear with me. In cloud. All right. What would this infrastructure in cloud do after you? Why are you building them? What's the goal? What do you want to achieve with building infrastructure?
To house softwares, applications.
Yeah, to house application. That's the reason. The reason you are building a home is to move your property there so you can live in it. So the reason you are building infrastructure in cloud is so that the infrastructure can house application. Sometimes my ink does well, sometimes it doesn't. So I hope it's beginning to make sense now. So solutions architect will go into cloud and build IT infrastructure to host your application. Good. Can you give me an example of such application?
So I just want to liken something to what you're saying. I want to.
You are not clear. You are cracking a lot. Are you on speakerphone? Hello? Can you guys hear what you're saying?
No, it's not audible enough.
Yeah, you are not audible. I appreciate your contribution, but let's see if we can make it better. Okay, so yes, application. Any other example of application?
Instagram.
Instagram, great. So what have we been talking about if we didn't mention Instagram? Yes, any other application? So if you are going to work with, who owns Instagram? Facebook? If you are going to work with Facebook, they might be deploying you to Instagram infrastructure to go and manage for them. Any other application?
Will Zoom be an application?
Yes, Zoom is an application, correct. So now you know the kind of places you can work after you become solutions architect. One more.
Verizon.
Verizon is more like a company. Do they have an app?
Okay.
So I'm talking about a virtual app that you can use like IG, yeah?
TikTok.
TikTok, great. So these are the kind of applications that you'll be building infrastructure for. All right? Of course, you say, but these guys already have infrastructure. Then you'll be maintaining the infrastructure for them. Making sure, according to their policy, this infrastructure should be off 24 hours. This infrastructure should never be open at this gate. And this person should not, this application should not be open to China. All of those, you want to make sure that that policy is met in maintaining the infrastructure. So it's not just building it and leaving, you are building it and maintaining it. And if the person who built left, you will be employed. And these are not, it's not one server. Anyway, we'll get there. Anyway, so now you have an idea of what solutions architect is. So let me build on that. Let's take it higher. Now that from physical computers, you are now working with virtual computers, you are now able to build infrastructure with virtual computers so that you can host. Yes, Caller, Texas. Caller, Texas, raise your hand. Hello, Caller, Texas, you want to make a contribution? Your hand is raised.
Okay, sir. I just want to ask about when you are explaining this solution architect, I want to have a clear view, because when a developer, a software engineer develops a program, maybe builds an app, right? And I think there's a kind of flow, like when a software developer develops an app and a DevOps engineer will be able to deploy this application into like instances, into like containers. So, so how do DevOps engineer and solution architect come into place together? That's what I want to ask.
Yeah, we'll get there now. That's what that's what we'll be doing eventually. But this one is just introductory class to even make people understand it.
Okay.
So the whole training, the question you asked now, that's like 4 months training. So at the end of the day, you are going to work with developers who will build codes in Java and in Node.js, and they will give you the code as a DevOps engineer. Okay? Now, set up infrastructure and deploy this code to those infrastructure. And then you take the code and you go and do it. And then when I say, no, don't just do it like that. You have to automate the whole process so that by click of one button, about 15 things will happen and this application will be compiled from the 700 codes that was originally given to you. It will be compiled into just one file called .war. And then you use Jenkins to deploy that file, build the CI/CD pipeline into your Kubernetes cluster. Everything you build from scratch by yourself. That is where you are going.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, but right now that is too complex. So let's just do the elementary things. All right, thank you. Okay, so yes, now that you know, you have an idea what the solutions architect does. Now let us move to the higher level, just like Caller just hinted, the higher level of where we begin to talk about containers. Now, as a solutions architect, you are there. But you are going to learn one more thing called infrastructure as code. Infrastructure as code. It is not enough to just go into AWS and become a solutions architect. All right, AWS tells you, come to AWS, I'll show you around, I'll show you the different services, EC2, Route 53, load balancer, ASG, auto scaling group, and I'll show you CloudFront, I'll show you all of this, and I will show you how to use them. Awesome, beautiful experience. It will be, oh, wow, I can do all this. Unfortunately, this will not be able to get you a job in the market. What employers are looking for are not people who can go to your Windows and use mouse to click this and then, no. What they are looking for is somebody who can convert all of this movement into scripts. And then you just run the script like we did. Okay. You just run the script and then things will just begin to happen automatically just by your running of the script. So what should have taken you 3 days of work to go here, click, go there, click, go there, click. Because you have assembled all of the actions in code format, but it's not coding, don't be scared. It's not coding. It's very simple to do. As a script, all you just do is call this script and this script will just do everything for you. And within 2 minutes, your 3 days job will just be up there. To be able to do that, we need to learn how to make infrastructure as code. Means you are deploying your infrastructure in script format. So at this level, we can now say that you are a solutions architect because you do not only know how to do this, you now also know how to automate it. Like I told you, IT is always about automation. If you begin to do just manually in IT, then you are not solving a problem. The reason people are coming to you as a solutions person to give them solution is we do this thing manually. Please help us convert it so that we no longer do it manually. It is now automated. That is what IT is about. All right. So that is why anything we do, we must learn how to do it in automated format. All right. This. Now, let's go to DevOps. Like Kola already mentioned, the whole idea of DevOps is that when developers build code, the people who build code, they are called developers. That is a modern name, not software engineer. I mean, developers is just a name. There are old names for them, but get used to developers. So when they build code, they are the people who learn coding using Java, Python, Node.js, what other programming language, and all of them. When they write their codes, they test their code is working. They will deploy this code to operations. Operations means the server that is serving the world. All right. So when you give an example of what example did you give? When you give an example of Instagram, there's an Instagram server. This Instagram server is such, this is server. All right. So there's an Instagram server. This server is so that whatever you put there is what is available to the world, to all the billions of customers through the internet. So whatever comes here, it goes live. So for that reason, we call this one the production server. But don't worry about the vocabulary. But the point I'm trying to make is between this code generation by developer and the production server, there are lots of steps. There are lots of steps. If it will not scare you, I can mention some of the steps. So this code will go into building. So you need Maven to build the code. When Maven is done building the code, Maven would deploy the code to container. And to know how to run container, you need to know about Docker. Maven need to know about Docker. You create containers, and then all of this job is integrated with a tool called Jenkins. All right. So from Docker, you may want it to go to your SonarQube so that you do your code analysis. Not necessarily in that order, but just pardon me. From SonarQube to JFrog so that you have an Artifactory of everything you are doing. And then you deploy to Kubernetes local so that you can test. And once everything is confirmed, okay, before you now finally deploy to your production. But the point here is, all of this process cannot be, you will not do it manually. It will have to be such that once this guy finishes his work in 10 milliseconds, it hands over to this guy, hands over to, everything is automated, not manual. So the job of a DevOps engineer is to take this code from the developers and put it in this production server called operations. All right? Or OP, instead of, let's just do OP. All right? So the DevOps engineer will do dev, and then he will hand over, take from dev and give it to ops, operation. So the steps involved, the tools that you would use, and how to deploy this tool from one stage to the other, using all of them. That is what you'll be learning, like the other man observed in DevOps. But before we get to this DevOps, you need to first of all understand that all of this, can you see all of this? They are deployed in cloud. So for this reason, you first of all need to know how, you need to understand how cloud works. So that, in fact, not just this, everything, to be honest, everything, even your taking code from developers. You don't go to China or to India to take codes. They deploy to cloud as well. And then you should be able to fetch from their Git and GitHub. This is where they come in. Git and GitHub. The GitHub might be your repository or Bitbucket. So you understand how to use Git command, how to fetch the code, how to build, how to deploy locally, and how to ultimately deploy to operations. It is when it is in operation that the codes are globally available. So this is where we are going. This is the container level that I described earlier on. This is the container level. But before we get there, we first of all need to be able to, we first of all need to understand cloud so well that we can work around with cloud. So first of all, we are going to become cloud solutions architect. So basically, in your first month of training, we are going to understand Linux operating system, Linux. We'll do Linux, sorry. We'll do Linux. All right. So after you have understood Linux, I'll come back now to explain what Linux is. After you have understood Linux, we'll now take you into cloud, and then we'll teach you AWS so that you now know the services available in cloud and how you can set them up, how you can use them to build your infrastructure. All right. After that, we'll tell you all of these things you are doing manually, you'll not get a job, manual. We'll now show you how to do everything you learned here, how to do them in automated format. This is automation. So if you want, if that is okay for you, you feel, man, I've learned enough. At this level, you can go and get a job as a cloud solutions architect. But if you say, you know what, this thing is interesting, I want to earn six figures, I want to go all the way, then on top of everything you know, we'll now take you to the next level on top of that. And this is DevOps. This DevOps is very, very wide. And once you get to this level, you know DevOps, for your life, you will no longer look for a job. You just get tired of working and then you resign by yourself. But they sack me from this work tomorrow, I'm looking for another job day after tomorrow. It will never happen at this level, at least in the next 5 to 10 years. All right. So if you go all the way here, then we drew that earlier on at the base. Many people can learn Linux. Linux is just 1 month training. The people that just completed Linux that we started in August, they are now experts. So they are there, but because competition is very high, they may not necessarily get a job unless they learn this on top of that. And then they learn this. So the higher you get, this is DevOps now. If you're able to go all the way there, then you shouldn't have business not getting at least 1 remote job to start, then 3 months, 6 months into being comfortable with that first job, then a second job. All right. So people around here typically would start, well, to be honest, even though you can earn 160, 250, you normally won't be started on 100K. to 120K per month. The highest I've had from my entry-level trainee, not expert trainee. I have some, like some of you are already experts. Maybe if you build this technology on top of what you know, you might get something better than this, but usually around 120. And most of my trainees, I'm not really too interested in jobs at this level or at that level. I really want to encourage them to go. So this is my interest. Some people may get a job at this level, but this is my interest. I really want to get you to that level. And then once you can get to that level, based on the good foundation and being in tune with technology of the future, then you can go as high as, like I showed people in the last class, as high as 400,000 K per month if you stay in that industry for at least 4 to 8 years. I can show you proof if you have time. I'll give you the website where you can go and check for salaries of DevOps engineers working for the top IT companies called Funge. All right, Funge has expanded now. There are more companies, but it used to mean Facebook, Amazon, G for Google, N for Netflix, all these big tech companies, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft. All right, so these big tech companies, the 10 biggest tech companies, we just call them Funge. All right, so somebody says I work with Funge, it means I'm working with Apple. Okay, Amazon, Apple is the second thing. These are big tech companies. You get a job with them, then your salary may not be 400K, but the benefits, the bonuses, the shares that comes with that salary, if it adds up to the basic of about 160, 180, then it goes up to 400 as at this role. All right, so I'll take your questions and then we'll build another layer on top of this just to give you an overview of what you are coming into. Questions, contributions?
Yeah, Mr. Akin, so very interesting. Recently I checked online for a requirement, job requirements of cloud system administrator. Is it the same thing as solution architect or?
Not exactly, but the roles are actually so closely interwoven these days, you can hardly tell the difference. So cloud solutions, what did you search for?
Cloud system administrator.
Okay. Cloud system administrator essentially should be talking about how to administer servers in cloud. And to administer server in cloud, ideally, what you really need is, let me show you what you really need. This, can you see this one? Can you see Linux?
You mean the diagram? Yes, I can see the Linux at the bottom.
Okay. Yes. So what you really need for that role is this operating system principally, and then at least 1 or 2 cloud platforms, AWS. That's what you need. However, you'll be surprised that even though you have these qualifications, other people that are applying for the same post would have this and maybe 1 or 2 other skills in addition. So even though this is what you need literally, by the time you check the job description, you are going to see they are going to add 1 or 2 things outside of this. I can bet that.
Yeah, you're right about that, because I started seeing some. I saw what you made mention of, the Kubernetes, the Docker. I'm like,
yeah,
system, cloud system. Why are you making it a DevOps?
The truth is, it's just a nomenclature. So I don't know if you saw my post where I listed like 10 roles, like that role. It's just a nomenclature. In fact, somebody can have the role of a DevOps engineer, all right? And then their consultant will advertise it as cloud solutions. I'm sorry, my pen is cloud solutions architect. And you feel, oh, cloud solution architect, that is great. I've already completed this course. Let me go and apply for that role. You now read the job description and you are going to find that 70% of the expectation is around what you should know in DevOps. So it is based off all of these experiences that we have formed these courses to say, okay, irrespective of what they call the title, whether they call it cloud solutions architect, DevOps, cloud analyst, cloud sysops, just complete this course and you qualify for all of them, because it's confusing. Even for them to say that they need a simple title as SysOps, but the job description requiring you to know Docker, to know Kubernetes. No, that's top level. So it's just wrong job title. And they are not wrong, because I cannot claim that I know more than them. It's just a nomenclature that can be used loosely. All right. Read the job description to know exactly what they want. So that's how it is.
We can't have everything that we demand for.
Yeah, sometimes it don't, but if the skill and knowledge is available, why not just learn it and then you are hot in the market?
So, sir, is DevOps closely related to software testing?
No, DevOps is much bigger than software testing. So when we drew that diagram earlier on, when we said you take code from developers and then you build it and then you put it on the pipeline and then you release to operations. You remember that diagram?
Yeah.
Software testing is just one of the many things that you do here as in DevOps, in CI/CD.
Okay, so if you qualify as a DevOps engineer, you can also work as a software tester.
Software testing is automated. The whole process is automated. If you qualify as a DevOps engineer, you can call in a program that would, now, actually not software testing. I'm actually talking about code analysis.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm confusing. So code analysis, which is related to software testing, is one of the, but software testing as its own profession is different, but they will work here. But you as a DevOps engineer cannot work as a software person, as a software tester. Software tester will be somebody who works in one of these departments to test this code, that it means all of the legal policy of the company, the technical policy of the company. Otherwise, somebody will sue them for something. And all of those before they now release it, before it passes the test, and then they release it to production, to operation.
Okay.
So to answer your question, software testing is one of the bus stops that the code needs to pass through before it is released here, but it's not the work of the DevOps engineer. The DevOps engineer will automate the process. Now, at each of these bus stops, there's a house of workers. The workers will look into the details here. The workers will look into the details here. But the DevOps engineer will just build the road that link all of them together in an automated form. So software testing is just one of the many steps, but DevOps engineer understand all of the steps. If that helps.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, are you going to give what's it called now? Are you going to give us something to read after the whole class?
After this inaugural session?
No, what I'm saying, does this class entail notes?
Yes, each of these courses comes with a manual. So we'll practice everything in class together. Manual is not important.
Okay.
So we'll practice everything in class together. I'll be doing it, to be watching. I will build things from scratch. I'm not coming to class with something already built. So we'll set up the server from scratch. We'll build and practice whatever I want to practice. Once we are done, we'll destroy the server because we are working in cloud. Next time we'll set up a new server and so on and so forth. So, number one, you will watch me do it and understand how I'm doing it. Number two, you will go back, watch the video. Yeah. Having understood how it is done, you go back, watch the video, and then understand it very well. Number three, you can do it by yourself, because when I do it, you are just watching me. It's not your experience. It's only after you do it that you can now say, oh, I did it, then it becomes your experience. It's only at this stage that you can put it in your resume. Then number three, we now have the manual that will teach you step by step, that traces you step by step what we did here, that you know. So every course has a manual, comprehensive manual.
All right, thank you.
So you have access to the videos, and then you have access to the manual. And then once you practice, you'll be part of a WhatsApp group As you are practicing what you did in class and you are not getting it, take a photo, a screenshot of what you are not getting, put it on the WhatsApp group, and I'll be there to support you to tell you, oh, this is what you are not doing right. This is what you are not doing right. So there'll be support group, because at the end of the day, everything we are doing in class is what you are taking into the industry to go and get your 100K job. So if you cannot defend it, then you cannot get your 100K job. So from day one, you're already practicing. Yes, you're already practicing. And then once you are, and then you are also monitoring yourself. You know yourself more than we know you. If you are finding it so difficult that you don't want to go beyond a particular stage, you will know. And if you are finding it so interesting, every time you ask for help, you get help, you are enjoying your colleagues, people are, yeah, you will know. You will know.
Mr. Akin, I had a question, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
So for a person that's coming from a different background other than IT, how can their resume be formatted to suit a recruiter that's going out and looking in the market for a job that's a little bit different than what they're coming?
Good question. Good question. So the resume is a template. So irrespective of where you are coming from, you are going to adopt the kind of resume that a recruiter can. In fact, the resume is such that you put it there within hours, you start to get calls. So the resume will be doctored to fit whatever background you have. So your resume is not going to be different from the resume of the expert. So the only work we have to do on you is to build you to be able to defend that resume. So somebody who's already an expert may spend only 30 minutes understanding. You may have to spend 3 hours to understand that same project so that you can defend him just as much as he can defend it. So to answer your question, it doesn't matter where you are coming from. What matters now is how much you'll be learning in the next 4-5 months. So it is that 4-5 months training that you are going to use to build a resume of 4 years. If you tell recruiter, I just completed the 5 months training, I'm looking for a job, you never get a job. But we are going to say, we are going to claim number of years. But what we are claiming in that number of years, you will be tested on. So if we say that you know Linux and that you have practiced Linux for 6 months, what is important is that you actually know what you put in the resume that you have practiced for 6 months. So they are saying, make directory, copy this file from California server to New York server, you're able to do it. Then it doesn't matter whether you gain that experience in 6 months or you gained it in 4 months. The important thing is that you can do what you claim. So resume, you don't really, if you are going all the way to DevOps, the resume is already there. So the work we'll be doing on you is to build you to defend that resume. So don't worry about, oh, I'm coming from a non-IT background. This guy is coming from an IT background. You already know. Everybody is going to adopt. Because we've tested the market. We know the resume that recruiters are looking for. We have it. Can give it to you right away. Or you'll not be able to defend it now until you complete the projects in the trade.
I had another question about solutions architect.
Okay.
What's the salary base for a solutions architect right now?
Solutions architect, where is it? So once you know it to this level, you might be lucky to get 100, but usually maybe 75 upwards. You might be lucky to get 100. Somebody actually, in my January class, we had just started DevOps. We hadn't gone midway to DevOps. So he got job as a solutions architect. It was a 100K job. But the reason, one of the strong points was, even though he was already a solutions architect because he had covered these courses, he was a DevOps trainee. So they knew that they could use him as a DevOps engineer, even though he was employed as a solutions architect. Just what we're talking about earlier on, when we said they just use the nomenclature to deceive you. They just want to price you. They may just want to price you lower, even though they know they'll be using you for bigger. So yes, to answer your question, an expectation of 75K to 100K is ideal. But you could be lucky to get 100, even as a solutions architect. The solutions architect that knows this. If you don't know this, no job, don't even bother. Infrastructure as code using Terraform.
Oh, also, I have one more. Sorry. I want to ask about quality assurance.
Quality assurance?
Yes, sir.
What about it?
Which does that one fall under? Is it under architect?
Yeah, it's still under DevOps. It's still under DevOps. Yeah.
Okay.
QA engineer is one of the different names they can call DevOps engineer. So you see around that pipeline, so all of those things that happen on the pipeline, the CI/CD pipeline before deployment to production. So the person who, it's still DevOps. It's still DevOps. It's another name for DevOps engineer. So the quality is the quality of the code, and it is the setting up of all of this infrastructure, all of these tools, actually, not infrastructure, to do the cleaning of the original codes and make sure that it meets the quality of the application as defined in the policy of the company before it's released. Yeah, QA and even site reliability engineer, they are DevOps related. This is site. Make sure it is reliable all the time. Yeah, you may need to learn just one or two more tools on top of what you already know. And even
I have a question, sir.
Security engineer, it's all related. Yeah.
How does DevSecOps relate?
Yes.
I mean, how is it related to DevOps?
Yeah, that's right. DevSecOps.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I was saying. So DevOps, so apart from, on top of being DevOps, just go and learn something about security. So you're already a DevOps engineer, but you now know security a bit more than the regular DevOps engineer. So this will be like, there are topics, 2 or 3 topics in security that you should know on top of DevOps to become a DevSecOps.
Okay, that's my goal.
Yeah. So
okay,
at the end of the day, it's first of all about being DevOps, and then learning one, even AI, which is something I intend to introduce as a training, would also be on top of your skill and knowledge as a DevOps engineer. So under DevSecOps, I can't remember now, but I have them in the notes somewhere. I had an interview with was it Apple for that role, just so I could get what they are looking for, and I was able to extract some topics around the security part that you can learn on top of DevOps to qualify you for this. All right, questions? Okay, now let's go back to the basics. Let's just make sure that everybody is following. So I already asked what infrastructure is, and you told me. So in cloud, you set up your infrastructure, and then just so that you can deploy your application. So Linux is the language that it's not really language, but just to explain to you, just to make it meaningful to you. It's the language that you learn because you have servers. In cloud, you are talking about servers, right? It's always about servers. Even though we say infrastructure, at the core of the infrastructure, there's always a server. So for this server to communicate with this server, for you to be able to move file from this server to this server, for you to say, I want to secure this server so that nobody can come in, only SSH can come in. For you to see, I want to convert this server to a web server or to an FTP server. All of these things you are doing about server, you are running commands. And Linux is the language that you use to learn that. So without Linux, you cannot even communicate with servers. We cannot even talk about servers. All right. So if you have this server in cloud, EC2, which you can spin up, what do you now do with the server? Without Linux, you cannot command the server to do anything for you. You just set it up there. So what? Now start to use it. So the way to tell this server, copy a file from somewhere, edit this file, convert to a web server, put my web page or my application on this server. All of them is command like make directory item, change directory to all of that you will learn using Linux. So without Linux, you cannot work with servers. We talked about enterprise environment earlier on, right?
Yes.
Enterprise environment. For a local area network in corporate environment, you don't need Linux. Windows server can do that for you, Windows. But for enterprise will be, you have a network there, you have another network in Africa, you have one in South Africa, you have one. Now you are networking all of them together. The operating system that will do this for you is Linux. Windows will crash. Windows cannot, it's too lazy to do this kind of big work. So once you begin to work outside of corporate environment where they pay maybe 50, 60K thereabout, and then you are now working within enterprise environment as a tech person, then definitely you are a Linux person, irrespective of what you are doing there, whether you are doing security there, or you are doing database there, or you are doing DevOps there, or you are doing development, software development, or whatever. It is built of Linux operating system. So that is why it is the foundation before we even go into server. Because once we go into server, we cannot do anything if we don't know Linux. It's just too early. I would have just shown you an example. We don't even know. All right. So for that reason, we will know server, then server. Then on top of server, we'll now build what? We'll go into cloud. When we go into cloud with our Linux, we are no longer just showing you around cloud and saying, we are not just pointing to EC2 and say that you understand the language, you'll be speaking to the EC2 to communicate. So it makes it interesting and gives you confidence. I've had many people coming to training because they did not understand this. They went straight to AWS and they told me, I don't even, then they now realize, oh, I should have learned this first. And then they come back to learn Linux. And then the process of learning Linux, they now say, even the way you are teaching Linux, I understand it. Why don't I even just do AWS all over again? If you get it right by just doing Linux first, then you get the foundation right. Other things will be easy. All right, question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Mine is not just a question, but it's just to confirm with what you just said now. I heard about DevOps a long time ago, and I took interest. I decided to build myself. I'm teaching myself a lot of things, but you just said something that I really interested me now. Like I'm supposed to have learned this Linux before I moved out. I just went straight to AWS site and I started trying a lot of shit. But I found out that I couldn't do a lot of things because I never had the background, which is supposed to be having at the Linux. So it conformed to what you just said now. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Thank you, Emmanuel. Yeah. That's good. Another contribution? Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, you were saying something about Windows, that Windows will crash, but even on top Windows, we still run Linux, and using Oracle VirtualBox and it still flow. So
yeah. No,
Windows
that one
is
is
not that. Windows is not
that one is
lazy.
no. Windows is lazy. That one is just a lab.
Yeah.
What you are doing with Oracle Virtual is just a lab. You one man practicing in his room. I'm talking about using enterprise environment like of subscribers. For example, MTN switch. In fact, all of the GSM companies back home, they all run on Linux server. They may not call it Linux. They could call it HP. I mean, there are different. You may not hear the word Linux in the name, but it is Linux. All right, they are all Linux. Linux originates from, yeah, let's not even go into, but the point I'm making is lab, same thing as operations. Operations will be carrying traffic, not from 10, 20, 40 people, not even from 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 people. In theory, even Windows by itself agrees that it's a 1,000 concurrent sessions. Since there is no limit, where Windows can do 10,000, Linux can do 10 million. Talking about enterprise environment, don't Windows to that interview. Everything you'll be talking about should be Linux, Linux, Linux. But if they're not talking about corporate environment of only 300 computers, you can bring Windows and say, I will do this with Windows, I will do this with Windows. Yeah, I know. We're first of all Windows certified before we migrated to Linux, so we know the limitations. All right, but good contribution. So
please, sir, how do we make sorry to bother you for this, but how do we make payment? How do we make payment for this? I want to make payment, but
yes, so there's a link. There's a link. I will, let me not disturb the, let me not spend time. I'll send you the link. Do you have my WhatsApp number through which you made the inquiry?
yes.
Okay, so just send me, I want to make payment, then I will send you the link, and then you can use any of the methods available there. That's it.
Oh.
Many of you already made payment, but I just decided let's have this first class free. I mean, for everybody. So after you make payment and then you send me your proof of payment, I will now add you to the group properly. There's no group here. This is just a general meeting. I'll add you to the group. Okay. So it is in that group now that we'll now be sharing materials, class link. If you have issues where you are practicing, you take your photos, you put it there. I mean, screenshot of the issue you have, and then they'll be live in that class. And then people like you already, who are not completely IT, you start to practice by teaching other people things that you know. And then I will also be there to support. And then it should be a lively class, which you people should be organizing classes on your own and supporting yourselves. Students are fond of doing that, so that when you get you get to the top together. As one person is attending the interview, he's bringing his experiences to the group, and then before you know it, 2-3 persons get job, and that will motivate the other people. So it's not just training; it's also the networking that you derive from being the supporter of your brothers and your sisters on the group.
Mr. Akin.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to ask, for payment, do we pay as we go, or do we pay like each time a class starts, or?
Yes, so we have 4 courses, right? So the first one is Linux. This one is $600. So you pay this one to start the Linux class. Once we are done with that, we have AWS. That one is $600. So you pay for that once you complete Linux, and you are happy with the training, you feel that everything is good. And then on top of that, we have infrastructure as code, and that one is also $600. So you pay as you go. First month, second month, third month. After this, if you feel like you want to go get a job, you'll be qualified to, because you would have learned enough. But if you want to go all the way to DevOps, there's a DevOps. DevOps is very voluminous. So we divided DevOps into 2. DevOps tools. Unfortunately, it takes so much effort to gather all of the materials, so it's a bit high. 1,500. Yeah, that's wow, right? Yes. And then DevOps projects. DevOps projects. This is the real thing, but you cannot understand projects when you don't even know the tools and all of this. All right, DevOps projects. Because at interview, they will ask you, what have you done? This is what you'll be taking to the interview. This one is $1,000. All right. So the whole thing.
I thought everything was 600.
Yeah, everything is 4,300.
I thought it was 3,000.
Okay, then
Written.
the Linux class, is it the same thing as the one that just finished yesterday?
Yes, it's the same thing. Exactly the same. We're just repeating that.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
For
Please, can I come in?
Yes,
for
please.
those of us in Nigeria,
Okay, yes. God bless you. We are in Nigeria. Those of us in Nigeria. Please, how do we?
Oh,
What
who is
do
in
we do, sir? Yes. Hello.
Yeah, let me know how many people are from Nigeria here. I'm joining from Nigeria. Please indicate.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel
Okay.
1, okay. Emmanuel
Caller.
1, any other caller 2, okay. Yeah, just 2 persons from Nigeria. Okay. So fortunately, we do not have DevOps engineering. DevOps is too tasking. We went through 7 seas and 7 rivers to get this training. So it's not affordable for what's the way to put it now without insulting anybody. So what we do have for Nigeria, Kola and Emmanuel, we have this training and the basic of this training for Nigeria market at only 50,000 naira per month. So instead of 600, you'll be paying 50,000. So add it to the Nigeria class, 50,000. It's a different trainer, it's a Nigeria trainer. So US people don't feel cheated or anything. It's not the same quality of training. That's just the truth. All right?
Oh, Mr. Akin.
Yes.
Is
So
Linux...
one second, let me quickly finish with the Nigerian training. So if you want to take the Nigerian training, because DevOps is not available first of all, DevOps is not available in Nigeria. All right? It took several thousands to get this, so that's why it's not available. However, you can get these other training titles in Nigeria delivered by a less experienced trainer for Nigeria market at that price. So please do me a message, WhatsApp saying, oh, I want to join the Nigeria class. Then I'll just swap you and add you to the Nigerian class at 50,000 naira per month. But if you now say you want to go ahead, I think I have like 1-2 persons who will be going ahead with because they are relocating from Nigeria actually. Are you here already? I have 1 or 2 payments from people who are relocating, 1 to UK, 1 to Canada, and they have decided that they are going on with the American training. In that case, it will be the same price. All right. Does that answer your question? Yes.
Sorry. Which is the first class that's starting?
The first class, our classes will be Mondays and Wednesdays.
Monday and Wednesday. Okay.
Yes.
Is it the Linux?
Sorry?
Is it Linux?
Yeah, Linux is the first one, yeah. Okay. The first 1 month. So in the whole of we're in September. The whole of September, we'll be looking at Linux. We'll look at Linux so well that you even feel confident to go get. Yeah, there are Linux, it's just that there are not many. So you know Linux so well, you go get a job if you want. The whole of September.
So you say Mondays to Wednesdays?
Mondays and Wednesdays, 2 days a week. Mondays and Wednesdays.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just 2 days a week. So the other days of the week, you use it to do your practice.
Okay, so do we have any class for tomorrow, or is gonna be?
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Friday.
Hello, yes, sir. Ma. Yeah, hold on, please hold on. Yes, I said Mondays and Wednesdays. So since tomorrow is Friday, we're not having class tomorrow. Our next class will be Monday.
Okay.
And then after that Monday, the next class will be Wednesday.
Wednesday, all right.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Akin, I have.
There's a lady that wants to ask me something. Please give her a chance. Yes.
Okay, sir. I thought you said it's Monday and Tuesday because I work on Wednesdays.
No, it's Mondays. I said we had the schedule on my Instagram page and everyone. It's Mondays and Wednesdays.
So how am I going to do it? Because I work on Wednesdays and it's night.
Oh, we are free only on Mondays. So let's look at your case. Let's chat and see if there's a way out. Have you already made payment?
No.
Oh, okay. We will not be losing. No, we still want you though, but
Yeah.
let's see how it works. Let's chat and see how there are other options that can come up with. All right. Yes.
All right, Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Akin, I want to ask, do you recommend certification at any moment? And if so,
Yes.
which one? Which certification do you recommend?
Awesome. Good question, John. So this, I would recommend just one certification.
Okay.
The one that would do you good instead of so many small certifications. This is the one I recommend.
Okay.
This one, AWS Certified Solutions Architect. This one. You see me highlighting?
Solution. Okay. Solution architect. Okay.
Yes. Associate level.
Associate level. Okay. And
Yes.
and the second question is, so you did mention you're gonna create a link for those who paid, right? So we
Yes.
could okay, because you sent me a link and I was waiting. So will you send us a new link for Monday, or just wait?
So it's once I get your payment, your proof of payment, it's a WhatsApp group. So
Yeah, I
I'll
sent it
add you
already.
to that. Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
I said my so you're gonna be using that. Okay. All right,
that's the group. All of these questions about your manual, your assignment, your interaction, everything will be on that group.
Okay. So if we don't see it by Sunday night, just send you a message or something.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
As a patron, feel free to access me anytime.
Yeah.
Call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because I'm always busy and it might look rude if I don't pick your call.
Got
So, but message I will always reply.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Hey, Mr. Atkins, I have a question.
Oh, two voices. They sound similar. I thought that was the same person.
How do we make payment exactly? And do we make a payment through a link that you sent us, or is it?
Yes. So the link I'm going to send you, if you click that link, it will take you to a page where you can use your credit card to make payments, or you can do Zelle, or you can do Cash App. Even if you want to pay through bank, all the information will be on that link.
Okay.
Yes. So all you do is just send me a text of I want to make payment, then I'll send you the link. And then once you make payment, please send me your proof of payment, the screenshot of your payment, so I can add you to the group that I just mentioned earlier.
Okay. And what time is the classes going to be starting?
Classes are 6 p.m. Central Time, Texas time, 6 p.m. Central Time on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Okay. Thank you.
6 p.m. to Linux will be 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. But once we meet to the bigger courses, it will be 3 hours, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. But for Linux, since you are just coming, we'll just take it easy. Yes, ma'am.
So my question is, so is this classes, are they going on at the same time, or we have to do like a step-by-step?
Step by step. So it's Linux first. Once you are good with Linux and you are happy because you are the person paying the money, you are happy, your spirit tells you, wow, this is great. Then you move to the next one. And the next one.
Sir. So I've not been added to the WhatsApp group. I think I made payments.
Have you made payment already?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So don't worry, I'll add you. But it will help if you just do me a reminder to say a WhatsApp test to say I've not been added.
Okay, I'll message you.
All right. I'll just waiting for this class to hold so that I've had like I've had over 10 payments already. So sorry that I've not added you. So we'll do it after this class.
Oh, quick question. When does the resume area or interview area, like when should we expect it in the DevOps area? Projects? Okay, good.
That project. So it's actually project plus resume and interview preparation. There's a 240 page interview books that we are going to cover. But not at the end of the training, we'll be covering them through the training. So by the time I'm handing over that book, you already know, you should already know everything. Well, at least 90% of the content.
Got it.
And with that one, even if they say Trump wants to interview you, you are confident because you know that the questions cannot come outside of this 240 page.
I like it. I like that. Yeah.
That's it.
One more question, sir. So when can we take the AWS exam?
Ideally after the AWS class, but you'll be so busy with the other practicals that I would just prefer that you complete the whole project first, the whole training first.
So until you get to the DevOps level?
That's what I recommend, but I've had students passing and telling us in IA class that they have passed already. But
the IAC class, what exam should we take? The Solutions Architect or Cloud Engineer?
AWS Solutions Architect Associate level. That's what I'm training you for. So we're using that curriculum to train you.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything I'll be teaching you is both for interview, is for three things: for interview, to pass interviews, to be able to do your work in operations when you get a job, and also to pass the certification. Three things. So that's the certification that I recommend. This one, because what they use packing certifications when all they need is just to, in fact, the guy who got the job that I talked about, that guy was good though. That guy was naturally good. It's not really because of my training. But he did not write, he had not even completed training to go and write certification. So he had not written certification and he got the job. So this certification is good, but it's no longer like compulsory. These days, what's more important is show me the projects that you have completed and prove that you did it yourself. There was no, Once they can drill it for 1 hour, you're able to prove that, yes, I know what I'm talking about. You are likely to get the job, and then they will let you write the certification. But in any case, it's the AWS certification that this training will really, really qualify you and prepare you for. Any other certification you may need to do additional work. And for this role, for the people who have seen the job description, because we are doing these things based on what the market is saying. We will normally say your ability to work in at least one of these cloud platforms. And then this certification would be advantage. The certification that is mostly mentioned over 70% of the time is AWS Solutions Associate. Yes, questions? Yeah, all of this was just overview, just to introduce you to IT, but the Linux class itself will not just be pure Linux, command. So once in a while, we still discuss the industry, we work with these terms, we give you the big picture. So it's not like you are training on your own and you are focused on just the tiny things. We are always relating the tiny things we are doing in class with the big picture as it operates in the real world, so that everything you are doing will make sense and then build that confidence. So don't worry, it's an ongoing thing. I mean, this kind of discussion will be ongoing. All right, so it's 2 hours today. That's about it for today. But if you have questions, I'm happy to stay behind and take your questions. Otherwise, that will be it. So that then as we add you to group, I'll make the, because we have a long time till Monday. So I'll make the manual available right away so that you can start to, don't stress yourself studying hard, because the work is on me. I'll do the demo and make sure you understand it. But just as an overview, you can just take a look at the manual so you know what to expect and have an insight into what you'll be learning. But don't go doing extra work. So on Monday, we'll log into cloud. You create your first cloud account and you have access to cloud resources. We'll spin up a Linux server in cloud. Unlike the method that was it something of Texas mentioned earlier on. So we're no longer using so what we're doing now is we are going into operations right away. We're no longer using the old method of, first of all, testing in our own lab before going to cloud. We are going to cloud, right? Normally we would hide the cloud thing and make sure you pay for cloud before we take you into cloud. But there's no use. Employers want people who can use cloud. So let's give you what they want. So that you can get it. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've been trying to, I don't know. I have a question for you. My question is, you know, the last time I spoke with you, my name is Kunle.
Okay.
So then I asked you about the weekend class, which is Saturday and Sunday. And
Okay.
you told me you're gonna figure out something for me. I don't know, but now I'm hearing something different from what we discussed the last time. So
Okay, so I said I was going to do something. It doesn't. Have you paid, Kone?
I'm about to pay now, but I just want
Okay. Okay. No, I just wanted to know whether I
yeah.
am. Yeah, I just wanted to know that. Not happening. Yeah. So I sorted that with. I looked into everything. Yeah, I remember that discussion, and then I also promised. Well, not promised. I also told somebody I was going to look at the possibility of having this thing for Mondays and Wednesdays. So between the two of you, what worked for me was the Mondays and Wednesdays one. So what we have for weekend is the dev. Can you see my screen? These are the classes, the DevOps classes. Let me take my tool. So what we came up with was we have this one for weekends. But for this other one, no, unfortunately. Unless as we are here now, everybody just decides, you know what, let's move this whole thing and we can. But from my own schedule, what is available for what class are you're interested in Linux, right?
In everything.
In everything.
Yeah.
No, Linux is not available. Another option that's okay. I have an option, it's just an option. Let me discuss that with you privately.
Okay.
So
I just want to make sure because I don't want to be isolated from other
exactly.
because
That's the point.
I want
You
to
miss the
make sure.
networking.
Yeah, thank you. So if that's gonna be a problem, I can work around myself, so that because I really need these, really, really bad. I want to do the work. So so it's not left for me. So like I said, if it's gonna be a problem, I can work around it, and I can go with Wednesday and Monday and Wednesday. So I just want to make sure if it's going to be inconvenient for you. So I'll take whatever you get. Then when you say the last one is going to be on weekend, then I'm gonna wait till then I can take that one when we get to that point.
Yes, I think for the purpose of networking and rubbing minds with your colleagues, because any alternative that I will have will be isolating you and taking you away. So if that is important for you to network, then this is about the only thing that's available.
Okay, fine.
Mondays
I'll
and
do that.
Wednesdays.
That. Then then the next question is I'm gonna use I can pay with Zelle, right?
Oh yeah, that is fine.
Okay. So
that is a good option.
Okay.
So just send me a request, then I'll send the link to you so that I can get my Zelle.
Okay. And you remember I told you I know nothing about IT.
There are many of you here, so that's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you join the class early?
Yeah, I was a little bit late, like maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think you said you're gonna send the video out so then I can catch up from there.
Yeah, the video will be available, will be ready by tomorrow so that you can look at it all of.
Yeah, but when the real work starts, I'm not gonna miss that. I'll be waiting on you before the time.
No problem.
Hello, sir.
No problem. Yes, sir. Yes,
okay. Yeah. What about me that works on Wednesdays? Is there anything you can do for me? Because my work schedule is Wednesday through Saturdays. So,
wow. We have only Mondays and Sundays. And your Sundays for family, right?
Sunday, Monday, and Tuesdays.
To be honest with you, I cannot go. It doesn't look like there's something I can do right now, unless you are looking at joining a future class. You have some IT background already?
No.
Okay. Maybe you should try Linux, see how the Monday classes work for you while you watch Wednesday classes. And then if you feel that works, you may want to, you can take a decision based on how that works at the end of the year. You want to give that a try?
Okay.
If not for the networking and the ability, the access to the forum, I would have given another suggestion, but like already observed with the last person who had the last question, now be isolating you are putting you by yourself and you don't have access to what is happening in the world.
So Linux is 600 and then AWS.
Yes.
So the AWS, is it like practicals or it is
No,
like
everything is practical. No, there's no theory in any of these courses. From day one, Linux is practical.
Linux is practical because I was just on the phone with somebody right now trying to know, like, now that I have my basic is DBA, like Microsoft server, I just want to know if like doing the complete program like this will take me out of where I am right now, like going, I don't know, that's why I was a little bit confused, but I realized that Linux and AWS is very important for what I have right now. So that's why I'm asking. But if you have any advice for that too, that would be helpful.
So if you are going all the way with training, then my thought is you want to switch from a DBA person to a DevOps person, right?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to switch, but I thought like the skill, like the knowledge.
Okay, can enhance your current role, right?
Yeah, to make me more marketable, because let's say you have like Linux or AWS attached together with it. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay. Yes, cloud would. What cloud platform? Okay, you are doing Azure right now.
Azure, yeah, Azure.
Azure, okay, yeah, definitely. Knowing adding AWS to your platform would definitely, because AWS also supports MSQL. Would definitely rise. Definitely.
What about Linux?
But you need Linux to understand, to be able to do AWS. So Linux is fundamental. You can't jump to AWS. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We are going to be setting up. You are going to be querying your databases, and even setting up. For example, we are setting up other databases in your, what's it now? In your Sonar queue. So in fact, one word, what I'm saying is this is actually taking your current career to a higher level, even though you are staying as a database person.
Okay.
Because with this one, you are now also able to implement database, not just in Azure, but also in AWS. And your understanding of and use of Linux makes it really, really flexible for you. Without Linux, you cannot claim to know anything in AWS. Without Linux, you are only able to point to things, but you are not able to get into things and do things. Linux is what you need to be able to get into things. So if you, like somebody observed earlier on, the person who shared the experience about not knowing Linux before going into cloud, you just see that you are just passing by, you are not really feeling it, you are not really being part of it. So Linux is fundamental.
Okay, so the Linux is what we are starting on for the whole thing. So from today going, we are going to do Linux, right?
Yes, and for the whole of September, yes.
September, okay. All right then.
All right.
And it's Mondays
and Wednesdays only, just twice a week.
Wednesday, okay.
But your manual will be there, the videos will be there, your group will be there. So make use of them throughout the week, but classes with me will be just 2 days a week.
2 days, okay. That sounds good.
Mr. K.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, I have a question. Is this Linux class the same as the last Linux class we just completed yesterday?
Yes, it's the same. Omolola.
Sir?
Did I ask you earlier on if you were in that class?
No, I came in late.
Okay, so were you in the class? Were you Lola? Are you the Lola in that class?
Well, we had two.
Oh, okay.
So,
are you
I
the
thought
Lola that was asking these deep questions from?
No, it's the other lady.
All right. Okay, so yes. Okay, actually, yes, we're actually also starting AWS, but this is the class for complete newcomers who have not had the kind of orientation you had before you had me.
Oh, so I have to start with them with this set?
No. We have AWS class for you. Have you paid already for AWS?
I paid for AWS. You sent me this link.
Oh, okay. I must have mistaken you for somebody who is completely new to IT.
Oh,
You
okay.
haven't been through Linux, you are not completely new. No, sorry. So your AWS class starts on, did you get the notice we placed on the forum? Starting on the 5th?
Oh, on the 5th, I paid today and you sent me this link. I thought.
Oh, only today. Okay. I probably was in a hurry coming to class, so I didn't even check to know it was okay.
Okay, I'm going to message you on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
This class is for Linux.
Because I was wondering, you said the whole September is for Ninis. You just completed one class. All right, thank you, sir.
All right, Lola.
Mr. Akin, I had a question. So,
yeah. All right, sir.
Do we have projects that we're completing in Linux and AWS as we continue?
Yeah, there's one project in AWS. No, Linux, there are no projects. We are just learning. No project in Linux. All of your, remember that the goal is DevOps engineering. So all of your projects are in DevOps. But for AWS, we'll have one. And we'll do together. We'll do together in class. And then once you understand it, you go and do it by yourself. So yesterday I was in no, not yesterday. The last time I was in the class, people had projects. There was somebody who was, they had issues, and then we just looked at them. And in 2 minutes, we just resolved the issue. And then, so if you have issues like that, sometimes we are not able to attend to them just by screenshot. We set up a Zoom meeting and we just, oh, this is what you are doing wrong. And then you just do it right. And because it's live, cloud is live. It's not like you are doing it on your laptop. Therefore, you just see it work. And it's satisfying to see that you put so much effort, maybe 3 hours trying to do something. Eventually, you got it right. It gives your confidence. Yes. So there's one project in AWS, and then there are the major projects will be when we get to DevOps.
Okay.
Mr. Akin.
Yeah.
Who are you handing us over to for Nigeria intake?
Nigeria will be Raymond. Raymond. You know Raymond? Have you?
No. So we have how is the classes going to be?
It's a different class. So I will add you to it. If you send me WhatsApp message, I'll give you the phone number for Nigeria training, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. We will share the class schedule for Nigeria with you, and then all the other information about Nigeria.
Oh. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there's something you mentioned earlier on. You said something about the less experience. Please, I don't understand that English in terms of what we are doing about the Nigerian instructor or something.
I have 27 years experience now. I cannot get another 27 years experience person to work for me. So it will definitely be people with less experience.
Not like the guy is not good, but just
no. I cannot employ somebody. I cannot. You are at the end of the day, you are still my trainee, so I definitely will not hand you over to somebody who is not good.
Okay, sir.
Because
I've been following you for a long time. I have a video of your August the introductory video.
Why didn't you join now? You didn't see the opportunity.
No, and I've never seen you before prior that August. I just saw a video not too long ago.
Okay. Whoever I'm giving to you to train you, trust that person, because at the end of the day, he's just doing the work on my behalf. But it's just that it cannot be the same, so that you don't come back and say, yeah.
Because I believe in you so much, and we want to make it good.
All right, I appreciate that. I will not disappoint you, inshallah.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, is that it? Any more questions? I'm here. Don't feel free.
Mr. Akin, could you send the link for?
Sorry, who is speaking? Me.
No, sir. I'm not saying anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who was asking about notes?
Oh, I was asking about just sending the link for payment through WhatsApp.
Oh yes. Once I'm done with class, I will just take my phone and reply. Have you already sent the message?
I sent one. Okay, I'll send
on WhatsApp. Yeah. Once I'm done with class, I will reply this message.
Okay.
My phone is off right now. All right, guys. So that's about it. So, Yetunde, are you going ahead to join the class for now? Even though you have just, is she still here?
Yeah, I was able to join the class. Oh, you talking to me or somebody?
Yetunde, the girl who, the lady
Oh, the
who
girl. Oh,
had
the lady.
just
Okay.
one day per week. Anyway, please, if there are issues that you want me to help trash, send message. I'm still available for the next one. I'll reply. So for now, that's the introduction. And then, like I promised, as we take the classes one step at a time, we'll still repeat all of these terms. So if you don't get them the first time, it's just the first time you are hearing them. So no worries at all. By the time we mention them over and over for the next 3 months, they will make or more. All right, so that's it for today then.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. You see in the group.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Akin.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Akin.
Thank you.
Thank you. I made the video available in the group. I'll make the link available.
Okay.
All right.
Am I added to the group?